And we go dancing to kickstart this 5-on-5. In at number 5, St. Peter's has been the story in March Madness. The small MAC school broke the hearts of Kentuckians yet again, getting 17 points from Casey Nadefo to beat Murray State 70-60 last Saturday night in the second round of the NCAA tournament and complete their rise from obscurity into the Sweet 16. 2 days after tossing 8-time national champion Kentucky out of the bracket, the tiny Jesuit school from Jersey City, New Jersey, the locals, became the third 15 seed to advance to a regional semifinal, joining Oral Roberts last year and Florida Gulf Coast in 2013. To boot, coming off the bench for the Peacocks is freshman Jalen Murray from the Bronx. They play third-seeded Purdue tonight in Philadelphia. Tip-off is 7:09 p.m. Go, Peacocks, go. Plenty of Bronx connections in March Madness, even if some of them likely busted your bracket, folks. In the fourth spot, how about a Bronx coach making some moves this time of year? Miami got out early and never trailed against Auburn, one of the early season darlings of college basketball. The Hurricanes look like the number 2 seed, not Auburn. The BX's own Jim Larinaga is going back to the Sweet 16 for the third time at Miami and the fourth time in his career. The Hurricanes got 21 points from point guard Isaiah Wong and held Auburn to just 30% shooting. 10th seeded Miami will now play number 11 Iowa State in the late game tonight in March Madness. March isn't just about college basketball, though, folks, especially now that baseball is back. The Yanks were in on the Freddie Freeman sweepstakes at first base, but opted to re-sign Anthony Rizzo on a 2-year deal. Freddie, meantime, signs with the mighty LA Dodgers, his hometown. The Yanks bringing back Rizzo meant that favorite Luke Voit was available. He was traded to San Diego for 20-year-old right-hander Justin Lang, the 34th overall pick in the 2020 amateur draft. The 31-year-old right-handed power hitter Voit led the major leagues with 22 home runs during the pandemic-shortened 2020 season when he hit .277 with 52 RBIs. Since then, injuries have certainly derailed his Yankee career. Sad to see him go, but I like Rizzo, and I like the fact that Voit gets to play for a contender out west. Lang is a flamethrower. He was throwing over 100 miles per hour in high school. If he can harness it, he'll be a player for the Bombers in the very near future. The talent is there. The Yankee moves take the 3 spot here on 5-on-5. Their neighbors at the big ballpark in the Bronx, NYCFC, come in at number 2. The Philadelphia Union avenged last year's Eastern Conference final defeat with a 2-0 victory over New York City FC at Yankee Stadium last Saturday afternoon. NYCFC were held scoreless for the third time in their 4 regular season matches, 4 days after the defending MLS Cup champions secured passage to their first CONCACAF Champions League semifinals. Big news for them.
I mean, obviously, it wasn't the way we wanted to play, especially in the last half an hour maybe. But that's how it is. I mean, we talked to each other, especially the young players. A lot of them was the first game in Central America away. I know those games. It's always very tough. There's just a lot of stuff going on outside the game that's maybe distracting you, but you just have to grow from those experiences. And I think this is the most important part. But for me, after the game, I mean, the most important thing is we went through to the semifinal, and that's how it is. I don't care. Like, seriously, it's not in my head. I just want to play the next game, win the next game, and then we look forward.
Can't win them all, folks, but if you are the New York Rangers, winning many of them is certainly the trend. Hence, number 1 here on the front end of 5-on-5. 5 stories that you may have missed, and then, of course, 5 to watch out for in the days ahead. The Broadway Blue Shirts are second in the Metropolitan Division and have continued to rack up the wins. They defeated Carolina 2-0 on Sunday to close out last week. Here's more with the Rangers.
No, I'd like to say we come in there and played a great game and that, but last night was a great game. Today was a great goaltender who was unbelievable and made great saves, and we were a tired hockey team. You know, I'm not holding any punches back. We get in at 2 o'clock in the morning. We've got to play a 6 o'clock game from playing a good game last night, and they were all over us. They dominated, but we found a way to get 2 points. So it was it's a huge 2 points for us, and you know, we'll take it. We'll go home and have a day off tomorrow and be happy with it.
I think that room is a bunch of will and knowing what it takes to win. I think if you've watched this team throughout the year, I've stayed close attention to them and playing against them in the bunch. They're a hard team to play against. Throughout the whole lineup, they compete night in, night out. Can play defense, can score goals. I think they have a great mix of everyone in this lineup, and I'm just happy to be here and be a part of it and help this team win.
To the back end of 5 on 5 we go. 5 on tap here in at number 1. Formula One, and more specifically Ferrari, is back. Charles Leclerc claimed a commanding victory at the season-opening Bahrain Grand Prix last weekend after preseason favorites Red Bull had both cars retire from the race with engine problems, make it a 1-2 for Ferrari. 1-2, Carlos Sainz followed to complete Ferrari's first 1-2 finish in more than 2 years. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is this Sunday, 1 p.m. our time on ESPN. We'll see the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 come together in March Madness this weekend too. Check your local listings for a complete list of games. You can also head on over to ncaa.com for more information. At 3, the Yanks take on the Phillies in spring training today. After Philadelphia, they have Toronto and Pittsburgh this weekend. And in the 4th spot, the Mets will have Houston tonight, Washington and St. Louis Saturday and Sunday, respectively. And last, but certainly not least, on this date in Bronx sports history, it was a year ago today that we said goodbye to one of the greatest under-the-radar Yankees of all time. Dr. Bobby Brown, the Yankee infielder who played on 4 World Series championship teams while pursuing a career in medicine, quit baseball at age 29 to open a cardiology practice, and later served as president of the American League. He died 1 year ago today at his home in Fort Worth, Texas. He was 96 years young. Brown usually missed spring training because of his studies, and he was often platooned by manager Casey Stengel, but he proved a crucial figure at the plate for the Pinstripers by the time the Fall Classic rolled around. He had a .439 batting average in October with 18 hits, including 5 doubles and 3 triples while appearing in the World Series every year but one from 1947 through 1951. Brown received a medical degree from Tulane University in 1950 and left the Yankees in the summer of 1952 for medical service in the Army during the Korean War. That's one great life lived. To the C-list we go for a guy I believe that could be an under-the-radar addition for this year's Yankees. My Bronx Player of the Week. I told you that I was excited about the Bronx Bombers' new shortstop, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and he certainly did not disappoint in his first spring training action. Kiner-Falefa was the Yankee shortstop for the first 4.5 innings of their first spring training game last Friday and was 2 for 3 with a double, batting leadoff. It was an exciting day for Kiner-Falefa. He grew up in Honolulu, Hawaii, dreaming of playing for the Bronx Bombers. Don't we all? He traveled to New York City for the first time at the young age of 11 back in 2006 for a baseball tournament and was able to attend a couple of Yankee games at the old Yankee Stadium. Highlights there included sitting in the outfield stands and being a loud bleacher creature the night Mariano Rivera picked up his 400th career save. Kiner-Falefa was so excited and nervous about his first Yankee game that he had trouble sleeping the night before. He's a big Derek Jeter fan, and he hopes to follow in that tradition of shortstops in the Bronx. I think his tenure in Pinstripes is off to a pretty good start indeed. That's your look at sports. I'm Bobby C.